the ages. Now, when we started, no banks, nobody were prepared to, finance us. We had small capital, about 2 million rupees, with 8 employees. A friend I told, the MDK Food Product, they are small stall there by the side of their main factory. And we started, we didn't pay rent, and we started with 8 employees, and we were to pack soya and buying from one of the bulk suppliers. That time we didn't have a factory, and we started. We were not given any banking facility, but we had a bank account open, and we just started with that. And in time goes by, went by it. We wanted further finances, like the banking facilities and all. The banks gave, and when we came to a stage where we can be stand on to a certain level, we wanted a kind of a venture capital finances and all, and been given by the banks. And now we are coming to a stage of raising funds by public offering. You see, initial public, it's called as IPO, and to go to the share market and to collect fund from the shareholders, issuing a certain percentage of shares to the public. Now this how it goes. Now we initially went on by our own fund, and then to the banks and the venture capitals and all were the finance supplies, the capital supply provider, and thereafter we have an idea of going by to an IPO. The main question, no, actually my finding, funds are no problem. Any banks are prepared. We are very good paymasters, and we have no problem with any banks, and any of the banks, the commercial banks and other development banks are prepared to give us. Local and foreign banks are prepared to give at any time any amount of funds required. I don't say any amount, but whatever the required amount of funds. And but we thought of going for an IPO is better, because now there are projects going on, like salt company. We have an intention of going for an IPO in near future. And some people, the point is, in Sri Lanka there is a perception that the funds is the sorry, the capital is the main problem, and most of the people talk about the business and starting up new ventures and all sort of things, but talking about the funds, non-availability of funds to start up, and that is a myth, I must say. Very small scale industries, the way that we have started the business in not for last one decade. There was an international crisis, you see, and the economic crisis going on. Day by day the things were coming down, and the economic performances. But we started with small capital, and we generated it in such a way with lots of controls, and such a way we managed to develop a capital within the system by itself. And some people, most of the people, they say we have business ideas, we have business concepts, and the abilities, the education, and all sort of things. But the main problem they face is claim as the fund, the restrictions and the non-availability of funds. That is anyway a myth, I must say, as an entrepreneur.
Why do you say that?
No, the thing is, no, you may be looking, this is the main problem in Sri Lankan business people face. You at the initial stage, when you start, whatever the maybe service or industry or whatever the sector that is, now you should know what to do first. What happens in our industries, industrialists or the service providers, they wanted to start up business at a rate, at a scale, at the initial stages. They wanted an air conditioned office, or maybe vehicles. No, we had only a push cycle at the beginning. I was working in the public sector those days, and we had a push cycle. We had only 2 supervisors, no accountants, nobody. But we had, no, since I did chartered and all, no, we had chartered accountants on friends, but we managed to do some or other, manage funds also. You need not have chartered accountants, but luckily we had people. We didn't go for comforts. We were not stingy in all these big things, and we gradually developed step by step. And when we come up to the position where we can stand on a platform with other comforts only, we gradually acquired them. For example, we have started 1997. We have set up a factory of manufacturing soya after 2 years of our inception, and we that time we had halfway captured the market, and we have converted. That was a revolution. I may call as a soya revolution, and we have captured the market share in a very rapid speed. And were we were drawing a substantial turnover in maybe 1999 sorry 2009 sorry it's 1999 2000 period. Myself, my friend, and four of our directors shared one table, you believe, right? That was our table alternatively, and the boardroom table, and they are supervisors. No, we had a very small office, and we had a very good factory, state of art factory that time, also very hygienically with hygienic condition. And the factory we focus our attention to give a machinery to an additional machinery to factory. They install something to upgrade the production and to upgrade the marketing or advertising what is tangible.
So what you're saying is prioritizing on
to be given to the areas where the priority should be given.
Right.
But our people, what our people do it, no, they want an air conditioned room, and first of all a Monroe or a Land Cruiser. Before starting the business, they don't know how much you are drawing from the funds. I mean, as to whatever, there is a kind of a ratio we call as injection ratio, which one turn of business will inject profit out of it. That profit you can't draw them out. You have to reinvest, and then thereby the cycle will become larger and larger. And in every cycle there is a point of an injection, the profit portion of it. You have to reinvest it and make it larger and larger. That's the point. That's the rationale we followed.
And that's a success. The secret of success.
Then
too.
By the time you reach to a level, any banks, anybody, because they believe us. They have a kind
track
of a
record too.
Track record to follow, and just see now these people are performing very well. They have they have whatever the required controls, and prepare to give the loans or whatever the facility required.
So doctor, how do you see as you were also mentioning, we know that it was a world's economic crisis, and to what extent Sri Lanka faced the brunt of it, and was there any direct impact on the Kingdom of Raigam when it comes to their productions and marketing and so on? And how do you see the role of economy? Is it now sort of a favorable economy for industries like yourself?
Yeah, I must say that now when we started the industry, it was 1997. Now, one way the the global economic crisis has started. People think that it started very recently, but I started some 10-12 years before, 1 decade before minimum, and gone down gradually down to the level that America faces a lot of problem. Everywhere in the world you get big economic crisis. But we started our entity in say 1997 is the time that started declining, and on top of which we had faced a problem of the terrorism problem, and it was in the peak in 1997.